Welcome to 10,000 Women, 10,000 Stages. Empowering women like you to amplify your voice, your message, your movement. We believe that if 10,000 new women stepped into high-level leadership platforms, we can transform the industries across the planet. 10,000 Women, 10,000 Stages. And now your host, Nerissa Street.
If you're one woman with a powerful idea, how do you get the support you need to execute it? So there are a few things that we've assumed with that question. First, I assume that you know that your idea is valuable and impactful. Second, that you're taking ownership of that idea. Last, that you're willing to do the work to bring that important idea to life. Well, it's kind of cliche to say this, but the statistics say that you may have a tough time getting support for that compelling idea. Some studies say you may not have asked for help at all. But closed mouths don't get fed. Personally, I'm still shaking off my upbringing that tells me that standing out and calling attention to myself isn't appropriate. And I'm a public speaker. My name is Nerissa Street. According to Malcolm Gladwell's wisdom, I'm an outlier because I have over 15,000 hours of progressively improving public speaking experience. At the inaugural TEDx event in Miami in 2010, I was the only woman speaker. I've been a featured speaker at South by Southwest EDU twice. I've had a platform at some very high-profile conferences, and because of my work, I've been in some incredibly powerful rooms. Sometimes I was the only person in the room who looked the way I looked. But I was also the only person in the room who had the knowledge that I had. What I mean by that is there was a certain amount of leadership that was commanded just by the nature of me being at the front of the room. When I saw that there were so many things that we've been seeing in the world as problems that were able to be solved just by the room that I was standing in, because I had a microphone. And what was amazing was because of that microphone, I had access to the minds that were in the room. I could change their thoughts about certain things. And because I was at the front of the room, without forcing it, ideas changed. Minds were opened. The unique opportunities, the unique connections, the people that I've been able to engage with, the projects I've been able to launch and be successful with, these ideas are able to flourish just because I was able to be at the front of someone's room. What I've also noticed is that sometimes other people with compelling ideas would get the opportunity I had to be in front of an audience, and they just weren't ready for it. There were so many missed opportunities because at the front of a room, you're not just about informing people. If you really want to make action and really want to do some change, you have to transform people. You have to compel people to take action. We hear the same voices in leadership over and over because they have the skills to get people to take action. So you want to give them the microphone. But again, how do you get support for your powerful idea? I say you speak that idea in a compelling way in front of an audience. So this podcast, 10,000 Women, 10,000 Stages, is a movement for people who are like me and what I call affectionate introverts with powerful ideas. I didn't mention that before. I'm an introvert, and I'd rather be home with a good book or at an intimate dinner party with good friends. But I get in front of an audience because there's a powerful sense of accomplishment I feel when I feel the room shift, When people step away from the limited thinking that they have, when I see the light ignite in someone's eyes, when they've got it, the understanding that they have, they can do more than they thought. That's powerful. It means I've got a teacher's heart. So I think you do too. You'll see, teachers are in every industry, not just academics. The best entrepreneurs teach you how powerful you are using their products and services. And that is why you keep investing your money and time into them. The most impactful people raise their communities not by their might, but by their vision. And they teach their people how to make the vision a reality through their words and through their actions. So this is what happened. This is where this podcast came from. I started to think about my life as a supposed master, an outlier, in Malcolm Gladwell's words. And bigger opportunities were coming to me. So I saw myself slipping into the role of speaking up for others because I could quickly and powerfully do so. How could I best use my voice? What could I do with those thousands of hours of experience? What audiences did I need to move for the next movements? It's kind of egotistical. I also feel like that there's a danger in that. No matter who I think I'm helping, anything I say for others will still be skewed by my perspective. But then I thought, what if instead I helped 10,000 women create their powerful hour? If you're a woman with a powerful status quo breaking idea and you get a chance to amplify your voice, you've got to make it count. When you get your audience, I need you to move them to action. We need your voice now. And like me, you don't have to become anything different than who you are now. You can still be the quirky, cartoon-loving nerd who is obsessed with mangoes. I found a way to get a mango into my TED Talk, by the way. So in this podcast, I want to demystify how to use your voice in an effective and powerful way. I'm a multiple award-winning teacher. And here's my secret. My students tell me that powerful stories that I start with are the hook that reminds them why they're doing it. It's the thing that brings them to the work and keeps them motivated to build their skills. So really, it's less about theory and more about practice. In this podcast, we're going to tell my story a little bit, but mostly you're going to hear others share their stories to help you seek unique ways in using your voice in practice. I also want to illustrate to you the foundational principles behind anyone moving an audience to action. We'll also bring you stories about what happens after you finish addressing your audience, how to deal with imposter syndrome, what a support system looks like, how to handle negotiations and sales, balancing personal relationships with your public, self-care, knowing when to pivot, and so much more. I'm not an internationally famous speaker. I'm not an aggressive speaker. You don't have to be in order to make your audience shift. We'll bring you stories about the crazy genius skill that makes that possible. So who will we be? What happens when your voice is as compelling as the most powerful people in the room? So I know it's not going to be perfect at first. As you listen, I want you to give me feedback about the episodes we produce and whether they're helping you develop the skills to be in front of whatever audience you choose. I'll make mistakes. I once had to drop out of a tech accelerator boot camp. It was the best, worst experience I had. I was the only person who looked like me there too. But it taught me how to pivot, the importance of great mentors, and a few other key takeaways that you'll hear about in an upcoming episode. You'll need access to these lessons early so that you can move more powerfully than I did before an investor sees you. My goal of getting 10,000 women on stages is bold. 10,000 women, 10,000 stages. But that's because I understand that stages can be anywhere. They can be online, they can be in person, they can be at a dinner, they can be through a book. Even data, when wielded correctly, is a stage. I also understand that the world is rapidly shifting, so the definition of women is also transforming. I'm approaching this platform with an open mind because your attention is what's helping me build it. The internet is a magical place of access, and when you provide people with engaging education through it, we can create equity. I also guarantee you that this podcast will transform as it transforms you. So please continue to engage with us as we grow. If you're one woman with a powerful idea, how do you get the support you need to execute it? I hope you're ready to find out.
Thank you for tuning in to 10,000 Women, 10,000 Stages. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Find us at 10,000women10,000stages.com.